In the 41st millennium, there is only war. Endless, grinding, hopeless war, where humanity struggles against impossible odds, where heroes die forgotten, where mercy is heresy and laughter is weakness. It is the darkest timeline, the grimmest future, a universe that has weaponized despair itself. And then Alucard showed up. The Death Guard plague ship, Terminus Est, drifted through the warp like a diseased whale through an ocean of madness. Its corridors ran with fluids that had once been human. Its crew had long ago surrendered their bodies to Nurgle's rot. Everything was decay, disease, and the wet sound of things that should be dead but refuse to die. Lord Typhus, herald of Nurgle, stood in the navigation chamber, overseeing plague deployment schedules, when reality hiccuped. Not tore, not ripped, hiccuped. There was a sound like someone pressing the skip button on existence, and suddenly a figure was standing in the middle of the bridge. He wore red, blood red, a coat that billowed dramatically despite the complete absence of wind, orange-tinted glasses, a wide-brimmed hat, and a grin that promised absolutely nothing good. "Holy shit!" Alucard said, looking around at the diseased nightmare surrounding him. "Holy shit! Did I just fall into a Slipknot music video directed by H.R. Geiger? Because this is amazing!" The Plague Marines raised their bolt guns. Typhus hefted his Man-Reaper scythe. "You dare?" Typhus began. "Oh my God, you talk like a cartoon villain," Alucard interrupted, pointing at Typhus with both hands. "That's adorable! Do it again! Say something ominous! I want to record this." "What?" "See? Not as good that time. You gotta commit. Really lean into the whole Herald of Nurgle thing. Maybe add some reverb. Woo! Or speak in iambic pentameter. That would be sick." Typhus stared at him. The Plague Marine stared at him. Alucard stared back with manic enthusiasm. "Okay, so I'm guessing from all the decay and pus, and seriously, is that guy leaking from places that shouldn't leak? I'm guessing you're the bad guys, which is great, because I was getting bored, sorting through souls, and oh boy, do you look like you need killing." "You will be silent," Typhus commanded. "You have boarded the Terminus Est, vessel of the Death Guard, blessed by Grandfather Nurgle. You will submit to his gifts or be—" "Grandfather?" Alucard doubled over laughing. "You call your Chaos God Grandfather?" The warp was chaos, a storm of madness and screaming souls. To most, it was death. To Alucard, it was home. He emerged through a tear in reality, laughing. His red coat whipped in the void like a flag of sin. "New universe, same infernal smell," he muttered, stepping onto scorched ground littered with skulls. "Warhammer, huh? Oh, this'll be fun." A squad of Adeptus Astartes surrounded him, bolters raised. Their leader, a stoic ultramarine, barked, "Identify yourself, heretic!" Alucard grinned, fangs flashing. "Heretic? Please, I'm your Emperor's worst nightmare, and his best weapon." He didn't move, shadows did. His coat rippled, and from beneath it rose tendrils of darkness that impaled the nearest marine through his armor, lifting him like a broken doll. The others opened fire. Bolter rounds tore through smoke and illusion, but Alucard was gone. Behind them his voice echoed, calm and amused. "You boys shoot first and ask questions later. I like that." A Marine turned. Too late. Alucard's hand went through his helmet. Blood sprayed across the sacred ground. The ultramarine sergeant made the sign of the Aquila. "By Guliman's will!" "By Dracula's appetite," Alucard interrupted, and his laughter drowned the gunfire. He left none alive. Hours later, a shadowed chamber aboard a black ship. Inquisitors debated in low tones. Reports claim the entity calls itself Alucard. It annihilated a patrol of ultramarines. Demon? Worse, it smiles. The door creaked. Alucard stood there, hat in hand. "You people love meetings, don't you?" Bolters aimed. Psyker screamed. He bowed theatrically. "Relax. I'm here to help. You've got chaos. I've got boredom. Let's trade." The Inquisitor Lord glared. "You serve the Emperor, then?" Alucard chuckled. "Serve? No. I entertain. The old man upstairs wanted a monster once. I'm a classic." Planet Cadea. The warp tore open again. Demons filled the sky. Rivers of blood, claws, and roars of the blood god. At the center, a greater demon of corn raised its axe, bellowing, "Skulls for the Skull Throne!" Alucard cracked his neck. "You're adorable." The bloodthirster swung, a mountain of fury. Alucard caught the blade bare-handed. His grin widened as his arm regenerated faster than it could be severed. "You like skulls? Take mine, if you can keep it." He exploded into a storm of shadows, familiars, and monstrous visages. The battlefield became hell itself. Space Marines, demons, and guardsmen watched as Alucard devoured the warp-spawn tide, laughing louder with every scream. When silence finally fell, the bloodthirster was gone. So were a few thousand soldiers. "Oops," he said, brushing dust off his coat. "My bad." A lone Inquisitor approached, trembling. "What are you?" Alucard tipped his hat. "I'm your Emperor's favorite mistake." He looked up toward the void. The stars blinked, one by one. Yeah, he muttered, smirking. "I've seen Hellraiser. Let's see if your galaxy can keep up." The void between stars was quiet, too quiet for Alucard. He drifted through it aboard a captured inquisitorial vessel, lounging in the command chair as terrified crew kept a cautious distance. He looked out at the distant shimmer of Holy Terra. "So that's where your big golden boss sits, huh? Man's got an ego the size of Jupiter." The astropath knelt, shaking. We approach the throne world, my lord." Alucard tipped his hat down. "Don't call me lord. I've eaten worse things for breakfast." The golden gates opened for no one, not for saints, not for primarchs, not for monsters, but they opened for him. Servitors trembled, custodians surrounded him, the Emperor's finest. Gold armor gleamed like miniature suns. "Creature, you stand before the master of mankind. Speak your purpose." Alucard smiled. "I was bored. Figured I'd meet the man who keeps the galaxy from imploding. Spoiler, he's doing a terrible job." The custodian surged forward. They didn't reach him. The shadows beneath them stretched, swallowed their golden boots, and dragged them screaming into the floor. Alucard walked on. "Tell your Emperor he's got visitors, and maybe a pest problem." The throne room was silent except for the hum of machines. The Emperor sat on his golden throne, a corpse god, burning with psychic fire. His eyes opened slowly, radiating light that burned away the warp itself. And Alucard laughed. "Damn, you really are dead inside. I've met liches with more personality." A voice filled his mind, calm, infinite, divine. "You walk in my house, vampire. Why?" Alucard spread his arms, coat flowing like liquid night. "Why not? You've got demons chewing your walls, angels too scared to fly, and worshippers who can't smile without permission. You need entertainment." The Emperor's light flared, shaking the walls. "You are a blight, a weapon unchained." Alucard's grin sharpened. "And you like weapons, don't you? What's one more monster in your collection?" For a long moment, silence. Then the Emperor's laughter echoed inside Alucard's mind, cold, amused, ancient. "Serve me," Alucard chuckled. "Serve? No, but I'll play along, as long as I get to kill your enemies. Then kill them all." Alucard's shadow split the air, rising like a living storm. He bowed with mock grace. "You've got yourself a deal, old man." Segmentum Obscurus, Warzone, Helios 9. A chaos war fleet surrounded a dying world. Demons filled the sky, and then one figure descended through the flames, red coat billowing, twin pistols drawn. Alucard landed in the middle of the battlefield, laughing. "Your god says hi," he said, before opening fire. Each shot ripped through reality. Each shadow devoured a legion. As the demon screamed, Alucard's voice carried across vox channels, calm and almost bored. "Tell the Imperium's priests their god's got a new dog, and it's hungry."
The eye of terror pulsed like a rotten heart. From its core came Abaddon the Despoiler, War Master of Chaos, Bane of the Imperium. His fleet darkened the void, a storm of black iron and demon fire. Worlds burned in his name, until something laughed. Abaddon stood before his generals, clawed gauntlet raised. "The Imperium bleeds, their corpse god sleeps. Laughter cut through the vox, high, sharp, inhuman. "Sorry to interrupt your evil monologue, champ. You sound like a discount Saturday villain." Abaddon froze. "Who dares?" The lights flickered, shadows stretched. A man in red appeared on the command deck, sitting casually on the War Master's throne. "Nice chair," Alucard said, spinning it slightly. "Bit tacky, but I get the vibe." The despoiler growled. "You dare mock me in my domain?" Alucard tipped his hat. "Buddy, I've mocked gods, devils, and a werewolf with a PhD. You're not even top 10. The talon of Horus lashed out, rending steel. Alucard caught it mid-swipe, bones cracking, blood spraying, and smiled wider. "Now we're talking." They clashed. Each swing of Abaddon's demon weapon split the deck apart, reality bending under its curse. Each blow from Alucard tore holes through dimensions, releasing screaming familiars, 1,000 undead soldiers clawing at the Chaos Lord's armor. "This is futile," Abaddon roared. "I am war incarnate." "And I," Alucard snarled back, his voice layered with countless others, "I am bored." The ship shuddered as the vampire unleashed his true form, a vortex of crimson shadows and shrieking souls. The War Master vanished beneath a tide of darkness that devoured the screams themselves. When it cleared, only Alucard remained, standing amid ruin and fire. He flicked a drop of demon blood from his glove. Well, that was disappointing. He looked out the shattered viewport at the burning fleets of chaos. Tell the galaxy the game's changed. The Emperor's monster is awake. A custodian approached the throne in silence. Lord, the despoiler's flagship is gone. The warp itself recoils. The Emperor did not speak, but the psychic air trembled as if he smiled. And somewhere in the void, Alucard leaned against a floating corpse and lit a cigarette. Not bad for a first day on the job. The Grey Knights were born to destroy demons. Their purity was legend, their faith absolute. But nothing in the Emperor's vaults had prepared them for him. The librarian's chamber shook with psychic echoes. Across the table, Grandmaster Kaldor Drago scowled. You claim this vampire serves the Imperium? Yes, the librarian whispered. He destroyed the despoiler's flagship, alone. Drago frowned. Then he is either a saint or a greater demon. The librarian's eyes darkened. Or both. Alucard floated in a wrecked transport, legs crossed, reading a crumpled data slate. Wanted by the Inquisition again. You'd think they'd learn after the first 5 exterminatus attempts. A sudden flash. Teleport strike. The air split open, and Grey Knights appeared in a burst of light, blades drawn, armor glowing with wards. Their leader pointed his halberd. By the Emperor's command, surrender, abomination! Alucard sighed, setting the slate aside. Every time someone says that, they die 5 seconds later. He smiled. The clock's ticking. They attacked. Bolts of psychic fire screamed across the void. Force weapons cut through shadows. Alucard moved like smoke, bullets spiraling from his pistols in impossible arcs. Each shot tore holes through reality, unraveling wards, cracking armor. A knight landed a blow across his chest, silver blade burning with holy light. Alucard hissed, the wound smoking. Ooh, holy steel. You guys do your homework. Then his grin widened again. Unfortunately, so do I. He exploded into a storm of red familiars, wolves, serpents, countless eyes, devouring the psychic light itself. The Grey Knights fought on, unflinching, even as reality bent around them. One knight shouted, "You can't kill us all, monster!" Alucard appeared behind him, voice soft. "I don't need to." He bit. The psychic scream shattered Vox channels for light years. When silence returned, only one Grey Knight still stood. Drago himself, dragged from the warp by destiny. His armor was scorched, but his eyes burned bright. He raised his sword. "I have slain demons older than your kind." Alucard reloaded his pistols lazily. Cute speech. Go on. They clashed, light against shadow. Every blow rippled through the void, tearing apart asteroids and burning holes in space itself. At last, Drago's blade pierced Alucard's chest. The vampire looked down, blood soaking his coat. He smiled. Good hit. Then he vanished, dissolving into bats and black mist. Drago stood alone in the wreckage, panting. A voice whispered through the Vox, "Tell your god I passed the test." In the librarium, Drago reported grimly, He is no demon, but he is no man either. The librarian nodded. Then he is exactly what the Emperor wanted. Far across the stars, Alucard drifted above a burning world, cigarette glowing in the dark. He smirked. Guess the holy boys will behave next time. There were legends of noble warriors cursed by their own blood. The Imperium called them the Blood Angels. Alucard called them family. The desert winds howled. A black gunship tore through the storm, engine screaming as it descended into the landing bay. Out stepped Alucard, coat flaring, grin wide. Astarte's guards immediately raised bolters. "Identify yourself." He looked them over, golden armor, eyes red as coals. Big, pretty, and tragic. I like you guys already." The Astartes didn't smile. One voxed his commander. "Captain Dante, he's here." Commander Dante stood before the sarcophagus of Sanguinius. When Alucard entered, even the mighty blood angels fell silent. Dante's voice was calm, but edged like steel. "You walk among the sons of the angel. Why?" Alucard bowed mockingly. "Your Primarch was beautiful, tragic, and bathed in blood. I'm basically his goth cousin." Bolters clicked. Alucard raised his hands. "Relax, Halo boys. I'm here on orders from your boss upstairs. You know, big guy, golden chair, terrible posture." Dante's eyes narrowed. "The Emperor sent you?" Alucard smirked. "More like tolerated me." Tyranids swarmed across the dunes, endless and mindless. The blood angels fought with fury and grace, red wings of death cutting through alien flesh. In their midst, Alucard danced. His twin pistols roared, each bullet carving sigils of death in the air. He laughed through the carnage. "You boys fight like artists. Let's paint the galaxy red." A monstrous hive tyrant lunged at him, scything talons raised. Alucard caught one, tore it free, and impaled the beast with its own claw. Then he turned to Dante. "See, no wings needed." After the battle, silence fell. The sand was soaked in blood. Dante approached him slowly. "You killed without hesitation, without control. You are dangerous." Alucard wiped his mouth, crimson staining his smile. "So are you." For the first time, Dante didn't argue. He looked toward the horizon. "The red thirst grows. Even now it consumes us. You remind me of it." Alucard chuckled softly. "Then maybe I'm here to show you how to live with it." That night, as the moons rose over Baal, Alucard stood before the tomb of Sanguinius. He bowed his head. "Beautiful fool, you could have ruled the stars. Instead, you died for faith." The sarcophagus remained silent. Alucard's grin faded. "Don't worry. I'll make sure your sons don't end up like me." He vanished into the dark. The Emperor's psychic voice whispered through the warp. "He walks among the angels. They do not yet see his purpose." 1,000 light-years away, Alucard's laughter echoed across the void. There are many ways to die in the 41st millennium. Rotting to death while still breathing is one of the worst. The plague worlds of Nurgle stank of sweet rot and misery, a paradise for the dead, a nightmare for the living. And today it had an uninvited guest. A blood angel strike cruiser drifted through green clouds of infection. Inside, the warriors prayed in silence. Alucard leaned against the bulkhead, flipping a coin. "So, this Mortorian guy," he said. "What's his deal? Giant plague zombie with daddy issues?" Captain Dante ignored him. "He was once an angel like us. Now he serves the Lord of Decay." Alucard smirked. "So, family reunion?" Dante gave no answer. The dropship doors opened. The smell of rot poured in. The land was death. Rivers of bile, forests of bone, and air that ate through steel. The blood angels advanced through the muck, their armor hissing from corrosion. Alucard walked ahead, unfazed. A plague drone buzzed overhead, a grotesque fusion of daemon and machine. He raised one pistol and fired once. It exploded into black mist. He chuckled. Pest control. Then the ground trembled. A shape emerged from the fog, tall as a cathedral, wings of rotting flesh, scythe in hand. Mortorian, the daemon primarch. "Vampire, your soul festers. You belong to my garden." Alucard grinned, his eyes burning scarlet. "Sorry, I prefer my flowers alive." The scythe swung, fast, silent, fatal. Alucard vanished into mist, reappearing above the daemon's shoulder, pistols blazing. Each shot ripped through corruption, tearing open glowing sores of light. Mortorian's laughter was a graveyard sigh. "You cannot kill decay." Alucard reloaded, smirking. "I don't need to kill it. I just need to make it scream." He unleashed his familiars, a hurricane of screaming shades. They swarmed over the Primarch, gnawing at the warped flesh. Mortorian's wings tore the sky apart, unleashing waves of filth that dissolved reality itself. The blood angels fell back, shielding their dying brothers. Only Dante remained, watching as the two monsters collided. Mortorian's scythe cleaved Alucard in half. The vampire's body burst into bats, then reformed, grinning. "Cute trick," Mortorian growled. He bit into his own wrist, drew his black blood, and flung it forward. It splashed across Mortorian's armor and began to burn. The daemon Primarch roared, the warp around him warping further. "What is this curse?" Alucard stepped through the smoke, eyes gleaming. "Old blood, older than your god." With one final laugh, he vanished, reappearing behind Mortorian and driving a hand through his chest. For a moment, time stopped. Then Mortorian screamed, a sound that tore the clouds apart. When it was over, only ash remained. The blood angels stood in stunned silence. Dante approached the crater. "Is he gone?" From the smoke, Alucard emerged, coat tattered, grinning wide. "At least for now," he said. "But I think he liked me." Across the galaxy, the Emperor stirred. He has slain a primarch of chaos. The balance shifts. Alucard's voice echoed through the Imperium, soft and amused. Don't get sentimental, old man. We're only getting started. The galaxy was burning again. Black crusades tore through the void. The warped screamed. The Imperium, already dying, began to bleed for real this time. And at the heart of it all, the throne world shuddered. Orbital fortresses crumbled under bombardment. Millions of guardsmen died holding a single mile. On the front line stood the Blood Angels, the Grey Knights, and one red-coated devil who wouldn't stop laughing. Alucard looked up at the burning sky. Ah, déjà vu. New apocalypse, same soundtrack. Dante stepped beside him, armor cracked and smoking. Do you ever stop talking? Alucard smiled. Only when everyone else is dead. The War Master of the new heresy appeared on the holo. Abaddon reborn, his flesh fused with demonic steel. Terra will fall again. The throne will crumble. The Emperor will rot. Alucard clapped sarcastically. Big words for someone I already killed once. Didn't learn your lesson, huh? Abaddon's single eye glowed like a dying sun. This time, monster, I brought friends. Behind him, demonic primarchs emerged from the warp. Angron, Fulgrim, Pertuboro. The traitor sons returned. The sky opened, the traitors descended, and Alucard met them head-on. He became a storm of shadows. His laughter filled the Vox. Bolters melted, daemons burned, blood rained on marble. The Grey Knights formed around him, chanting litanies that made the air itself scream. Even they flinched when Alucard tore Angron's fart out and drank it like wine. Dante's voice crackled through the comms. He's not fighting with us anymore. He's fighting instead of us. Fulgrim, the daemon prince of excess, danced through the air, blade gleaming. He met Alucard mid-strike. You are exquisite. Such hunger, such ruin, Fulgrim hissed. Alucard grinned, eyes burning red. You're cute, in a tragic, glittery way. Their clash shattered the causeway. Fulgrim's laughter mixed with screams as Alucard's familiars tore through his serpentine form. By the time dawn touched the ruins, the Primarch was nothing but ash and silence. The gates were broken, the horde chaos poured through, and at the top of the stairs, Alucard stood, gun smoking, coat torn, grinning like a devil god. Welcome home, he said softly. The horde charged. Alucard raised his arms. Shadows burst outward, blotting the sun. Millions of dead souls, every life he'd taken, answered his call. They rose as one. The battlefield froze. Even the traitor legions hesitated, facing an army made of death itself. Alucard's voice echoed through the flames. Your war ends here. Mine never does. He unleashed them. The Emperor stirred upon his throne. He has become what I cannot. Immortal, unbound, unholy. A whisper answered from the void. Alucard's voice, calm and amused. "Don't act surprised, old man. You made me." The sky was clear for the first time in 10,000 years. The enemies of the Imperium were gone. So was Alucard. Only his hat remained on the steps of the Golden Palace. Dante picked it up slowly. "He saved us," he murmured. The Emperor's psychic light shimmered faintly across the horizon. "He saved nothing."